How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to another Mastering Runeterra Squadcast. I am your host tonight, Card Gamer, and I'm joined by a bunch of our lovely squad mates, Pansora, Shodox, Prodigy, Santa, and Monte Cristo himself. And, today was a big day for Legends of Runeterra. We are now on patch 3.13, so that's the death of Kaisa and, every other relevant deck that was doing anything last patch pretty much got hit, and we got Kayn today, so a lot to talk about. What do you guys think about any of that?
I'm so excited to play this patch. I haven't had a chance yet. I've been, as you guys might know, I've been quite preoccupied with other things, and I was at work all day. I've been playing catch up from missing a couple days due to being in the hospital for a little bit, so I'm really excited to get into Legends of Runeterra today. The game was getting really stale for me, and I can't wait to see what this patch brought.
I feel like I'm in a funny position where I basically jammed Kaisa a whole bunch to make it to front page of Ladder. And this is the first time on the front page, so I don't want to risk anything. So I'm not going to be playing the new patch at all. Yay.
You need to get a Smurf.
Yeah, I'm going to... I started, I have 100 cards or whatever, and they're all Garen and stuff.
Yeah.
You can also jump in normals. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
also,
no,
it's
I'm definitely
pretty
gonna
funny.
Scrim.
You can it's weird to jump in normals because you have to put whatever flex card back you have. Because you can jump into normals with a world competitor card back, and then it's just the emote spam you get is actually hilarious.
Wait, you can put any card back in normals?
Yeah. It's just your cosmetic.
Yeah.
You just put whatever you want.
Prodigy revealing that he's too much of an elitist for normals.
I thought you meant that you can put any card back even to one you don't own.
Oh no,
no.
I was you can just snag the
board
board from the seasonal champion.
This was just a subtle flex.
You don't have the board.
That's
already?
all this was.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, they didn't give it retroactively, man. I'm biggest.
They have they confirmed
I
that?
have the board.
I'm curious.
It did say that they on the post they weren't going to give it retroactively.
Yeah, I didn't think they would.
I like your tweet, Shodox.
Yeah, so dumb.
I also liked
it. Was a good one.
But yeah, we can talk cosmetics first because that's some actual who gives a shit about $10,000? Am I right?
I just want the board.
We get a fancy board with new music.
The music is actually pretty good.
Imagine
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, is it the board, card back, and icon?
All three
are all just for the winner.
According to it, what it said in the notes is all three is for the winner, but the card back and the icon are titled competitor.
Yeah, competitor. So I wasn't sure.
It's a bit strange that way, but what it said
maybe they're still
the winner.
ironing out the kinks.
Yeah.
What if it was winner gets the board, top cut gets the card back, and anyone who plays in seasonals gets the icon.
Sure.
You know, something like that, right? It's
it could be the
hierarchy.
board for the winner and then the other two for top 32 or something, you know.
It's probably not that, but I think that would be a cool way of highlighting your accomplishments. He has the image, that's cool. Or
they'll probably do something like that. I mean, we already have a card back and an icon for seasonals, right? Yeah. This is probably just going to be the updated one, and it's cool and nice to get another one, right?
But yeah, just new cosmetics, all the bug fixes, bunch of stuff is no longer broken. You can't ghost block elusives anymore.
Shen Bard interaction, the Shen interaction.
While we're talking about bug fixes, one of the best patch notes is Evelyn and Kaisa AI decks now contain copies of Evelyn.
No. Actively nerfing the AI is actually so messed
bad
up.
that even the AI didn't want to put Evelyn in their Evelyn list.
Guys, come on, I can't laugh so hard.
Just imagine though. Imagine being that one new player or something playing its AI and it's I got a player on Evelyn. If they drop Evelyn, I'm screwed. Only to find out it's not in the deck at all.
No, it's just you're just looking at a bunch of husks and you're oh, these husks are kind of cool. I wonder what archetype it goes into.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, Evelyn.
But actual impactful bug fix. They changed the Stand United elusive interaction again.
Yeah.
They snap back the bench once more.
I think it's the Key Guardian
is
one.
good.
Was the big one.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shen just getting hit really hard this patch.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
of how reliant he was on bugs.
Yeah. Almost makes you wonder if they should maybe hard code some of that stuff to actually work that way. Like,
I
They
don't know.
also didn't fix monkeys.
yeah.
Oh, is that not fixed?
Yeah,
That's
you're
fast.
right. They didn't fix the
I was
plunder.
looking.
To be
I was looking for
fair,
that.
I feel like they should just make the monkey's card text what its current
Plunder.
effect is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
And it
that'd
would
be fine.
Just say, plunder someone an extra one.
I would be down to just take one
I
monkey
think-
off of it.
Yeah,
It
that's
should
fine
have the
too.
plunder.
Fine that
Like,
Like, I think it's fine. It's fine either way.
It usually only matters like one every 10 games. Has been my experience.
Yeah, and like
Unless you're stuck with like really clunky double monkey hands and you have to just play them as your plunder cards, in which case then it matters a lot more.
Mhm.
But
I find it
you're not usually
I find
mulliganing
it
for
really
that, so.
weird though that it was considered a bug because like how does that end up as a bug? You just accidentally gave a whole nother card a whole nother effect.
I think what happened, you know how it says plunder on it? I think that just got activated at one patch.
But
Like,
then
it didn't.
yeah, if it got
Yeah.
activated, but why did it spawn another monkey?
Because it's counting
Well,
itself as a
it's-
plunder card.
yeah.
now.
It's
It's
like
spawn-
you play
It doesn't
the
have a
card,
plunder
it
effect.
counts
I see.
the card,
Oh,
It's just-
and then you get
Yeah.
okay.
Whereas before it was just
That's pretty
description
funny.
text. At
I can
some
see
point, it just
Yeah.
clicked into place.
Mhm.
it's just incrementing that number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that
don't
makes
know.
more sense.
But yeah, I think it'd be like thematically cute if it had plunder. So like if
Mhm.
they wanted to just fix that,
Yeah.
that'd be fine.
it's fine either way. That the pain point just
Yeah.
it's not
yeah,
clear.
they can
Like
just
I don't
make
think
monkeys do an
either
extra
way
damage.
will make or break the deck.
That's cool too. Just make monkeys deal too.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's like
Monkeys
Mm-mm.
are here to stay.
Jesus.
Like monkeys are. I lost to monkeys like a couple times today.
Patrons is still on
Yeah.
it. I don't think monkeys are going
'Cause-
anywhere. I think they're a very reasonable aggro
No.
choice.
Yeah, they weren't
I
touched
agree.
at all, really, right?
Yeah.
And their bug
They
wasn't
got
even fit,
buffed,
which is
technically. We got buffed.
With
Gnar
what?
got buffed, right? Like Gnar discounts Pokestick by 2.
Mhm.
That's a very reasonable inclusion in that deck now. I was
Wait, by
talking to
2?
patrons.
No,
and
it's
we
by
were
1, right?
No, it's by 2.
it's by 2.
Yeah.
That's
By
the
2.
That's the change.
Gnar Buff.
So if you haven't Pokey in hand, it's now free after you start.
Oh, right. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so I was talking to patrons today, and he was thinking like maybe we just put Gnar into Bandle, and we can use TF in a different one if we want to play double monkeys again. Because like TF was in Bandle because you had the most access to draw and stuff with the Pokesticks and whatnot, but with Gnar getting that power level boost, TF gives any other deck you put him into a significant boost. When I played in the Maru tournament, I was playing TF Zoe, which was sus, but it worked.
I kind of liked that one.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
that one.
I had to get out of Allegiance in that one though because the flight was breaking up my things. I needed that deck
Yeah.
list needs work, but I think there is potential there. But anyways, that was kind of the whole point of my ramble there. Like Gnar being buffed lets you flip this up a little bit.
All right, let's talk some buffs first, because there's some exciting ones.
Should we do any order or just go like most impactful?
We can
to
go
least
top to
impactful?
bottom just on the notes.
Uh-oh.
I have them.
Top to
I
bottom.
have them open.
Just
all
Were
right.
there any buffs that were actually that impactful?
I think
Catalyzer.
I legitimately think Karma buff
Catalyzer.
plus 1 health
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
kind of huge.
It is huge.
Like I think
I
not
don't think
like
that's the reason why Karma's bad though.
I agree
no,
with Vansora.
but I think that Karma, like if because of some buffs later, darkness and things like that start rising up again, and turns can make it to like games can make it to turn 10. Not being able to play your Karma on 9 and not get excited or
Aftershock.
whatever.
Mhm.
Aftershocked. There's a lot like the difference between 3 and 4 health is huge, and the difference between
Counterpoint.
4 and
Like-
5 health is also huge. Like it's an actually hard threat to remove, and like on top of that, the Path of Champions fight against her is going to be a lot harder now. So make
You got me
sure
there.
you're thinking about that.
buff to path.
I just think that I do think Karma's. I don't know for sure, but I do think there's a decent chance that Karma finds a deck, but not because of this buff. I think this buff could have not existed, and it would be about the same because of how the meta's shaping up, because of all the other nerfs. There's a little bit more breathing room. I don't. It's probably still not enough, but
I think
maybe.
it's enough. I mean, Starbone,
Yeah.
So
pretty good.
I think the issue with Karma right now is like Enlighten doesn't feel like a real mechanic in the game. and the meta is slowing down a bit, but it went from like a meta where we were killing on 6 and 7, sometimes 5, to a meta where it feels like we're going to be killing on like 8 or 9, sometimes 7. And that's still a bit fast for Karma. And like the deck you bring up is like, oh, Darkness is going to want to slow down. But the thing is, like, if you're playing Darkness against Karma, unless you're specifically playing as Karma, and even then, it's probably going to be a bit hard to make sure their Darkness doesn't get to a point where it's removing your stuff, because they have things like the Vagar that can just sit there, and it's not easy to remove outside of Thermo. And if we are in this control meta, Darkness is probably going to be on things like Transposition or Miscall, right? And it's going to really throw a wrench in your plan.
No, I don't think it's going to be like, I think it'll be a very cute tournament deck. I don't think Karma's going to like take over ladder, but I think it'll have like a solid place in tournament meta.
Here's a question then, like more from a design standpoint. Should Ionia ever get a ramp card?
No.
I don't think so.
Not.
I think if you wanted to give Ionia a ramp, you would have to do it in some roundabout way. It can't be like a direct ramp card. It can't be like a last breath ramp card. It has to be like something akin to a Hearthstone quest. I don't know if you guys
You
ever
could
played
have like
Hearthstone.
you could have some sort of like spells matter conditional. That's like in line with what Ionia's trying to do.
Or maybe like you could give an Ionian card that gives you an extra spell mana bank, so you have 4 spell mana instead of 5, something like that.
That's
or maybe
cute and I think broken.
Probably, but you could also make an Ionia card that potentially includes, when I'm on the board, your spell mana counts towards Enlightened, so you can be Enlightened a little bit sooner.
Like a landmark or something like that. Like there's a lot of fun ways you could do it in Ionia that are like interesting.
Yeah, I don't think you can give them direct ramp, like gain a mana.
Oh, that's perfect. It's a landmark. It's you're Enlightened, draw a Karma.
Yeah, we just print them a Helic.
Oh, that's good.
I would think if you give Ionia ramp, it would have to be tied to a champion, right? Because like if you're giving a region something that isn't supposed to be in its region, it has to be tied to a champion. That's just kind of how it's always worked, pretty much.
Well, so the reason why I bring it up is kind of what you said, like not supposed to be in the region. We have 2 regions that have Enlightened synergy. It's Ionia and Freljord, and one of those has ramp.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, like mana crystals valuing and mattering is kind of an Ionian thing, sort of,
and
because of that Enlightened condition.
And
That's
Ionia can, has the stall to get to there. So I
There's
guess
no
that's
other
their
region
kind of thing.
that has ramp, right? It's just Freljord.
As of now,
Shurima has negative ramp.
Yeah, Shurima's minus ramp.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just feel like that's an interesting design space that could open up in Ionia if they wanted to push Karma and like have some other sub-archetype and have Enlightened.
I think Karma's like a tough champion to balance, right? Because if she's strong, like that's not fun.
That is like
there's some.
Sorry, finish.
No, I mean that's just like the hard part with like some of those champions, right? Like when some of those champions are really powerful, they make the game like less fun and less interactive. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with Karma though is like you can kind of build a deck to win 2 ways. You can either put in a bunch of burn, or you can go for like some really value game plan. One of those kills your opponents way faster. So like you're kind of stuck in a single deck, and so like when you have a region like PNZ you can pair with, and you have like Mystic Shot and Get Excited. It's like you are a bit walking a fine line that like if Karma's able to level 2 easily and you can just fill the stack with burn, that's going to be too strong, so you have to like walk that back. Like you can't have just like some Karma where I want to play Celestial Trifecta and just wound value, which would probably be a much like more fine deck for the meta as opposed to like a strong Karma burn deck. But you wouldn't want to play that if there was a good burn option. So like you can't really have the value one.
Yeah,
It's
also Go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say like Karma, like Karma hasn't been played in a long time, but if you guys remember back when Karma was good, like there were so many games that are lost, not even on Karma like hitting the board and like living and popping off, of just I play Karma, you remove Karma, I can't protect it, I play Deep Med, I go up 4 cards and the game ends because I'm up 4 cards. Like I don't know if we really want to make it super easy for people to do that on like turn 8.
To be fair, the game was like there was a lot less card draw in the game at that point, and like there was a lot less card generation. So I still think that's probably like something that would happen today. I just think it would happen a lot less than how it used to. And like,
Yeah, it wouldn't
as
be quite
opposed
as
to being
impactful,
4-0, you might be 4-2, right?
Let's just stick with small health buffs
What's the next?
and not give Ionia ramp.
Yeah.
So what's the next big buff that was in the patch?
Yeah.
Gnar was kind of like
Gnar is
whatever.
a pretty minor
Gnar.
buff.
It's like a nice little.
Harsh
think-
winds, I think.
Wait,
I think
Real quick,
Zilean's
Gnar,
I
change
think
is
is the
huge.
biggest buff.
before we move on to
Yeah.
Zilean, with Gnar, there's no Vandal City deck. It's only going to be like monkeys, probably.
Unless you go back to Pink City.
Yeah.
What do you mean? There's
So,
no
like,
Vandal
just
City
play
deck?
monkeys,
Like no
right?
Vandal City deck with
It's
Gnar?
G Shellfolk.
Oh,
Come on.
I mean, there might be. I don't know.
Like, monkeys isn't really a Vandal City deck. It splashes.
There's monkeys. I mean, I don't think Pink City's coming back, but I don't know.
I mean, there's Sejuani Gnar, which it might be okay.
The transform one, yeah.
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 I don't know. That was running all Blighted Ravines, wasn't it?
No.
No, there's the Knack attack.
Yeah.
The Knack attack.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
play
yeah, yeah.
mid-range
Yeah.
beatdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mid-range
it's like,
beatdown,
Yeah,
slam
it's
Sedge
like-
and just laugh.
But yeah,
spiked like one tournament.
I think this is
I don't-
mostly a like makes Gnar feel less bad rather than like makes Gnar noticeably
Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah.
It's a quality of life thing, like the
Yeah.
Duskburner,
Yeah.
right? It's pretty minimal in most circumstances, and when it does affect the game state, most of the time it's not very impactful, but it just feels good. It makes the card feel smoother and better to
Mhm.
play.
I mean, yeah, it's giving you 2 mana instead of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a big deal.
But
Yeah, Zilean champ spell changing is
Huge.
Yeah.
really good. His champ spell was probably the worst in the game.
Okay, I used it a surprising amount.
You
Yeah.
did.
For how bad.
Sure.
But how many turns did it sit dead in your hand, completely unplayable
that is
before
true.
you used it?
Yeah.
You're right. You do use it a shocking amount, and those
Yeah.
moments stick out to you a lot because it is such a feels bad card that's sitting there and sitting there and
Yeah.
sitting there. So you remember when you use it. But
There are definitely worse
you
champion
want your
spells.
Zillion to die,
Is
right?
there
Death
really
Lotus?
like what champion has a
No,
worse
Death Lotus
spell?
is fine.
Yeah, Death Lotus is
I
fine.
mean, Nasus is. I mean,
What?
that one's
Come
pretty.
on.
Siphon
Massive
District?
chance
Strike
spell?
is so
Oh,
good.
Udyr.
Udyr's is
bad.
Udyr's
Udyr's
is
Udyr's
bad.
is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Asol.
Whoa.
Asol's isn't bad. Straight
You
up.
clearly haven't paid enough peak.
Sky's Descent is
Thank
not a
you.
bad card. There was a point I was running a Targon control deck with Aphelios and like main decking Sky's Descent.
True.
It was
Talia.
legitimately
What do you mean?
good.
Talia's spell
Talia-
gets you
Talia's
Blight
is okay.
Ravine. It's OP.
Talia's, yeah.
Talia's has some really clutch
Talia
moments.
levels herself.
No,
Yeah,
but like Talia's spell versus like that's fair.
Talia's
Like,
spell sucks, but it's not like a card that you are. If
Yeah,
you
it's
have
not
nothing
Chrono
else to
Shift,
play,
man.
it's not preventing you from playing.
Okay,
Right?
But here's the thing, though. Y'all remember when Sivir was like everywhere? Chrono Shift went hard as fuck
It
then.
did. It really did.
See?
And
Oh
when
my
Aloof was
God.
everywhere, dude, Chrono Shift also went hard as fuck. The 2 times
Exactly.
Chrono Shift is good, killing Sivir and Aloof.
True.
Anyways,
Like, it's definitely a buff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Zillion now has a champ spell that's like actually main deckable. Like it's a good card.
And, like, internally synergistic.
Yeah.
like, we were already running like I was already running like one or maybe 2 of them in my list, and so now it's like I can only run 1 or I don't have to run any because I can just say like, well, if I have second Zillion, it's going to be that card, and it means like you don't have to like play that card. You can play something else in that spot.
Yeah, I think there will be some fun like Zillion Shellfolk decks that I don't think are actually good, but
Don't play Zillion
I think
Shellfolk.
certain players
Oh,
will have fun.
Echo Zill's going to be tier 1,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Echo Zillion's going to be a really good deck. Other like major buffs, there's like the Cosmic Binding buff, but that's
Hate Spike.
Catalyzer.
Let it
Um,
keep
Can't you
yeah,
only play that deck
Catalyzer.
if you're playing Bard?
Yeah.
Or can't you only play Cosmic Binding if you're playing Bard?
No, it's a
No, it's a
Vandal
Vandal
card.
no,
card.
it's a Bandle card.
Oh, it's
yeah.
a battle card? Okay, okay.
Yeah. You can put that in your
Travis
Shellfolk
calls
deck.
the Runeterra.
Yeah.
Hate Spike buff, I think, might be relevant in some deck. I don't think it matters,
It's good for any Nasus deck.
but like,
Nah,
And it's helping TF Nami when you get it off. Might help TF Nami when you get it off.
yeah, but then you're not
Yeah.
getting more Tellstones. So like,
Yeah, Yeah, but you're less
Yeah.
likely to get bloodbait.
And
Bloodbait's
jettison.
burst.
Jettison's
That,
fine.
like,
Jettison's
yeah,
fine.
Bloodbait's like burst speed. At least it can just pop off.
Mm-mm.
I think
No,
Harsh
fast
Wind's
is
buff
good
is
enough.
sick. Harsh Wind's buff is cool. Just like 5 mana Harsh Winds. That's just great.
Mhm.
I like that.
Although you can't get it in your timelines anymore.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
one
buff.
Yeah,
hurts.
not being able to
I'm
pull
not
it
gonna
off
lie.
arrows.
Oh, off of Reggie.
That
or
is
Pharaohs.
pretty
Most of
good.
the times you don't even pick
I
it, though.
like.
No, it's
It
I
depends
picked it
on the
a
deck.
decent-
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably very matchup dependent.
I don't think so. I think like most of the times you were like those matchups that you're thinking of, you were probably supposed to win anyways. This just lets me pick the transform card more.
Don't like picking transmog.
Oh no, not that one. The wild one.
Yeah.
Okay. I was.
God, what other things are there? Kadregrin got his weird buff
Mhm.
to
That
make.
card was already like
Yeah.
not bad. He just doesn't really have a deck.
Well,
It's
That is
Oh, I think that card is
absolutely
that's the hottest
but
crazy
that
take.
to
card's
say.
still
That is
bad.
that is the hottest take we've had all night.
Kadregrin's a 6/6 for 6. That does almost nothing. Now
But
it
now
just
it's
gives
good.
Challenger, which
It's
like
Grant Challenger.
sure.
It was always Grant Challenger. It's the +1/+1 that changed.
Yeah, but
Well,
like
now it can target anything. Now.
yeah, it used to be
that's
an allied champion or dragon, which was unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
And now it can give anything Challenger and +1/+1, but like it's still a 6 mana 6/6. It'll feel better to get off of Inviolus Rex.
True.
Truman was main decking it. He was playing dragons today, so he was main decking it, but he was also playing a bunch of other interesting dragons. I'm gonna look at his list.
That
Are you
deck
playing
did not
the
look
Brood
good.
Father?
It did not. I forget exactly. I think he was playing
Was he
the
playing
5/5 spell shield. That one looks that. So like,
Yeah.
I am gonna try some dragons after this.
Yeah.
I think the bigger debate is Herald of Dragons good or is it bait? Because
Uh,
last meta it was bait because of all like Tentacle Smash and like Broadwing and all the challengers. But if challengers and like Demacia stocks are down, then it becomes like if control stocks are up, then Herald is like actually a considerable card.
so
Oh,
I've
do you?
played a lot of dragons. I really like dragons. I really like the like Targon mid-range decks. So like I played a lot of Leona, I played a lot of dragons. And so first off, Herald of Dragons is bait.
Okay,
You
that
have-
was the conclusion that I came to.
You have so little draw in
played
that deck that if you like are top decking Herald of Dragons later in the game, it just feels absolutely terrible. Also, Inviolus Rex, I think, is still just better than Kadregrin. Like I was unironically main decking that card because
What about
one of
the 3 mana spell?
the three
Dragon's
Dragon's
The
Touch?
3 mana landmark. The landmark. Sorry,
Oh, I don't
the
know actually.
Roost.
That might be better.
because we can curve it out nice and early.
But
Yeah, but then you have to
like-
spend 9 mana
like-
for your Inviolus and like
here's
Wait,
the
what?
thing though.
No, it's 3 mana.
No,
Yeah.
it's 3
yeah,
mana.
but you have oh, does it summon it?
It's
Yeah,
summon.
it's
summon.
Summon.
Oh shit!
But
yeah,
he-
play
Yeah, you play it on 3
Here-
for 3 mana,
Here's
and then you get
How
in.
bad do you
here's
think
the
it was?
issue. You can't handle
Oh
I
my
thought
God,
that
you
card
can't
was
handle that.
terrible.
It is terrible. You can't handle that tempo loss.
Okay,
but
to
yeah, I
be
still-
fair, like dragon decks don't have plays on turn 3.
It's true.
You have White Flame and
Yeah.
the 3/4.
You have White Flame and I forget the name of the 3/4,
The
but the one that
3/4?
doubles Fury.
Mega lol.
That
Yeah.
is not
Oh,
a real
okay.
card though.
And like
I
know
thought-
it is.
I
That is
thought-
a
Doubling
that
Fury
is like
is not a good card. It's so
Yes,
weird.
it is.
yeah.
Okay.
It carries the deck. It carries the
I
deck.
thought that guy
You're,
was
like
getting
so
cut.
hard.
there's
No, that
also
card's
just
good.
like
It shouldn't.
banking mana for tricks.
Yeah,
right?
banking is probably the best turn 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because you
true.
want to go Chow, Challenger, Bank, Shyvana. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't hit Chow that often. Like sometimes you hit Chow and it's good, but like it also is really good to go Chow, White Flame, Shyvana, and you draw 2
Yeah,
cards.
I
off
think
it.
Yeah,
2
like
mana.
something
As
like
long as
that,
you
but-
bank at least 2, right? Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're not giving yourself time to play this land.
Mm.
That's my point. Like I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to
don't-
play
I
the
don't
fucking
think
landmark.
You could mess with the landmark; it could be fun.
Yeah.
But
my
I like
ahead.
Inviolus because it lets you draw cards later in the game. Is like my whole.
Okay.
That's all I was gonna say because it's a region combo that doesn't have a lot of card draw, and it's
Yeah,
like
we have
a
Ace.
deck
Mhm.
that you have Asol on
No,
I guess
we have
turn
3
8
mana
if
draw
you're
too.
you
really-
Yeah, you have
Eclipse.
Eclipse
You have Eclipse though too.
We have 3 mana draw too.
You can't play Eclipse Dragon for Nightfall.
Oh, just wait 2
I do
turns
it a
for
lot.
Asol. Come on. So impatient.
Oh, but then you just lose. I wouldn't run Inviolus as like a 3 of, but I actually do love it as like a 2 of in that deck, or like a 1 of, just to like, it can fix a lot of hands because Dragons has consistency problems, and that's always been its biggest issue. Is like,
Yup.
it's one of those decks where like, I think Herald of Dragons is bait because if you draw it in the wrong order, it's like one of the worst cards ever.
Yeah.
Like it's so
Very
bad.
bad.
You're playing a 2-mana 1/2 that's doing nothing for you.
Agree.
So like having cards that you can drop later to kind of fix a bad like opening hand is how you come back in a lot of those games, and like let you stall to an A-Soul win condition.
So I really like. I always played like 1 or 2 Solari Priestess in that deck, just because I figured like I like Comet, I like Sister, Traveler can be kind of good. Like I always played like 1 or 2 of those in the flex spot. It's like depending on the meta too. Like sometimes Obliterate's better than like just strike spells because like you can obliterate a Vigor and it doesn't come back, or Scion or whatever. So that's like one thing I've always considered flexing into as well.
But yeah, I think
I'm excited to play Dragons.
Yeah, I think Kadregrin's still just too expensive, and his effect is too weak.
I agree.
It would be cool to see him played, but I don't think Dragons is going to be tier 1 without like major changes or like major new cards. It's been at like the bottom of tier 2, top of tier 3 forever.
I mean, you could make Shyvana 3 mana, or you could make
you can't.
You can make Shyvana 3 mana and some stats nerfs maybe.
Yeah.
You
can't be a
or you could make her
unit.
If you made her a 3 mana 2/3 that like grew on attack, like the same +1/+1, maybe that could be
permanent.
Yeah, permanent.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
I mean, that's what.
No, we have Ziggs. Ziggs is a 3 mana 3/4 that when it flips, it just burns you out for a metric ton. Okay, like Shyvana is a 4 mana 3/4 that gives you a fleeting full cost like strike spell. like let's just like Ziggs and Shyvana. Shyvana could be 3 mana and Ziggs would still be better.
All you have to do is,
3/3 first of all,
dude, make that strike spell free.
Yeah.
And all Dragons really needs as a deck is like the ability to always draw Eclipse Dragon on 7 and A-Soul on 8 and never have them in your hand at any other point.
What
like
we need a Reggie. we need a Dragon Reggie.
Dragon Reggie.
I want a 2 mana 2/1 that manifests a dragon.
Egghead manifest.
We could just change Egghead.
Manifest.
Yeah, manifest.
What if you could turn Reggie into a dragon instead?
Oh my god. Alright, let's talk about other buffs instead
Maybe
of
we should
this
talk about
deck.
decks.
Well, we can talk about Bloody Business, because I think that's actually...
that one's
I think that's pretty big.
I played a lot of Ash LeBlanc today. Bloody Business feels really
How'd that
good.
go?
Yeah,
Good?
that is...
Like Bloody Business and Harsh Winds. Like I don't know if the deck's gonna stick around, but it feels a lot better to play.
Yeah, I still don't think that Reputation is going to make it.
I don't know. It was a nice buff though.
It's close.
Yeah,
It's
it's
close.
a really strong buff. It's a huge buff. So I'm curious.
The biggest issue right now with that deck is the meta just shifted in an unfavorable way. So you struggle against Darkness because their removal lines up really nice. You struggle against Echo Zilean because your only removal is like Culling Strike, and like you hope the freezes work, but they have pump spells and stuff.
Yeah. So
and then what's the other problem deck? Those two, and then I mean Kais is still kind of a problem.
So what I'm hearing is I have reasons to go back to Nox's Reputation. Or,
yeah,
not
you
Nox's,
can.
Shurima Reputation.
But like,
yeah, Shurima Reputation's actually in like a kind of interesting spot. It's not like if you're running like Shurima Nox, it's like maybe better. I don't know.
Is there enough keywords in Reputation to run Kai'Sa Reputation, like Kai'Sa LeBlanc?
There might be.
There is.
maybe
Because with if you can proc evolve, you're going to get Reputation with those.
Sure.
Really
You're
fast.
5/3
That's
and
kind of cool.
6/6.
Shurima alone
We can
has
mess
That's an
that,
idea.
Yeah.
So it just depends whether the cost of running all the evolve stuff slows down your Reputation too much.
I think you could even run the Kai'Sa package without Kai'Sa, because you would want Kai'Sa in a different deck, but you could just run the Reputation. You could just run all the Kai'Sa package.
Yeah, you'd actually probably be better off with Sivir in a Reputation deck and then just running the evolve cards beside it.
It just
Seems
depends
pretty
if you have
decent,
enough
actually.
keywords.
I'm sure you
Yeah. I
could
You got
make it work.
LeBlanc has quick attack. Like you have 2 from Sivir, right? And then you just need to find an overwhelm somewhere, which is like the 4/4
Yeah, you have overwhelm.
spell.
Yeah.
So like that's 3, and then you gotta piece 3 other keywords together. Play a couple of
Fearsome's
one
really
drops
easy
and
to get.
Yeah, Fearsome's
and
really
then
easy.
the Voidlings can always be like Voidlings are like Fated or Augment or whatever.
Yeah, we just find 1 or 2 more keywords probably to make it more consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that could actually be pretty decent.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think the last big buff was Catalyzer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just Darkness still exists and now it can block Fearsomes.
And it's actually very good right
It's
now.
like
Yeah.
one of the few control decks that can block Fearsomes early now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I mean, it's pushed Jaceheimer right out of that control spot.
Like
That
Boom
tempo control
Boom
spot.
can't do it anymore. All the other things are like all the little shitters are 2/1s.
Yeah.
Which
Anything
might,
that has
you
an
know,
effect worth playing aside from Catalyzer has 2 attack or less.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get to the nerfs.
Yeah, just like
Ooh.
kill just attacking
They
everything.
killed Bard.
They just took
They
everything
killed
out
Bard.
back. Thank God.
I like love this as patch cadence, by the way.
Yeah.
The like okay, so with a little caveat, please don't do this 10 days before major tournaments. I'd prefer not that.
Don't listen
What
to
do you
him.
About
Sander, you're
17
chilling.
days.
You don't need to do anything.
He's right. Do it 3
But-
days before.
There you go. Shotox has got it. But yeah, other than that, I actually love the idea of like taking a lot of the big decks down a notch. I think they may have gone too hard this time, which I don't know that I love. But I think it's a really like it's a good concept to like.
I don't know if you
actively
guys
shake up the
saw.
meta.
I don't know if you guys saw, but there's a tweet from Ruben Zoo saying basically how they're measuring success of a patch is how much it shakes up the meta.
Wow. Well,
Mhm.
this is gonna shake it up
yeah,
quite a
like-
bit.
I think it's a pretty cool like design philosophy to come out in. It feels like just looking at this so far, it looks like that's like a good way that they're approaching patches to like make things different.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I
Like
think
I think they overkilled like Bartolawi a little bit. I think that was actually like a good semi-healthy deck. I think it was like definitely overtuned, but I don't think it was like
I think they removed the part of Bard where you can high roll on
Yeah.
early turns. That was the
But they,
unhealthy
like,
part of it.
yes, but I would have liked I would have been totally fine if they were like no chimes before turn 4. After turn 4, you shuffle all the chimes in. Like I just want to get those chimes back so I can
So,
like play as slow.
yeah, he
I would
so,
like
like
play
like,
that
grindy.
like
You
turn
shuffle
turn
9 on the
3 you
first
shuffle
turn.
6.
You shuffle, yeah. Like I just want to be able to get like I want to be able to play a grindy Bard deck, and like that's why I really liked Bartolawi is because I could play this like the mirrors were really fun. Like I could play against control, and I could just grind the
Wow.
control player out. Like I just remove Nami, I remove all their threats, and then I just like let my chimes keep going, and it's a way to like pressure these control decks because my 2-drops are now 6/6s, and that's because of the Bard passive.
Man.
And it's not because like I'm high rolling chimes on turn 2 and killing someone. It's because like I have a late game win condition, and like losing 6 chimes means that your late game is just non-existent now because
So
you're
That
like
sounds
losing.
good.
You're hitting just way less
So-
chimes. So-
part of
Can I interest you in a Meduli?
um, true.
Oh no!
I love Meduli.
Part of what that nerf does, though, is that it opens up the way for them to design cards that add chimes to your deck in a different manner in the future, right? So they could print a card now that says you shuffle 1 extra chime per turn. They could print a card that says while I'm on the they could print a landmark that says while I'm on the field, you double your chimes shuffled each turn, stuff like that, right? So I don't think it's a bad nerf. I think it's kind of okay for Bard, especially Bartolawi, to be out of the meta for a little bit right now. But
I do
Yeah.
I do think Bartolawi is like a good deck. Like that type of deck is a good deck to have in the meta. And it does suck a bit that it is basically like the Bard nerf on top of the Alawi nerf on top of the Tentacle Smash nerf is a lot to stomach for one deck.
Smash deserved it though. That one needed to be hit. Out of everything,
it?
that one
Smash.
needed to be
Bro,
changed.
Smash
It
was the best card on release
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
entire
yeah.
set.
Mhm.
Like you looked at that card and were like, that card is cracked.
for sure,
Because you can't
Yeah.
counter it.
for sure.
One-
But
Can't counter it. You get a free unit. Like
Yeah,
does
it's
everything.
so good.
They just made Tri-Beam.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say about Bard though, and it's a good thing he got nerfed, is like Bard limits design space, because if Bard is very powerful, you're not allowed to make allegiance cards or cards that are supposed to be fully self-sufficient in their own package good.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, yes, you could play Bard with anything because Bard was that good, but like Bard was really a problem when you played him in allegiance decks, right? Like if you look at the 3 best Bard decks, it's Demacia Allegiance with Poppy, Ionia, pretty much Allegiance, but like Kinku isn't a good card, so you just didn't play Kinku, but pretty much Ionia Allegiance with Ari, and then Bilge Allegiance pretty much with.
And then you
Well,
even go to the
that was
fourth,
just 'cause they only-
and it's LeBlanc Allegiance. Like, all the good Bard decks are Allegiance.
Well, and that was because like they didn't print any other Bard
Yeah.
cards. They only printed like 2 playable Bard cards, like, and like maybe the stun card, but it was really like you only played the 1-drop and the 2-drop in Bard decks.
I mean,
right?
the stun card's a tech card.
Yeah.
You're never like main
Yeah,
decking a full
exactly.
set of. So
But like,
So like that was the problem.
so much of Bard's power though is like tied up in Bard though, right? Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, it become like there's this issue where you're just not really allowed to print these things, or like they're just going to break with Bard, and it's just going to be the best thing. Because it's like, oh, this champion pretty much can win the game and like has everything they need. What if we just gave them more numbers?
Yep. I mean, yeah, like I think they could have like compensated with like, okay, we took 6 chimes off Bard, like let's give him some more stats. Let's make him an actual card, right? Like I think there's like ways you could have definitely, I don't know, tweaked it to like, but I agree. Like I think his like I think Runeterra champions in general have a flawed flawed design, right? Because Jhin, if they ever print like too many like good skills, that deck's gonna be broken, right? Like basically, like I think their philosophy right now with Runeterra champions is we can print an overpowered champion because it's nerfed because it can only be played with one region, right? I think like that's like seems like it's the philosophy of like you can print overtuned champion because you can only play one region with it.
All right.
And there's like a payback there.
Do we want to keep talking nerfs, or do we want to subtly take that beautiful segue of
we can talk about
Runeterra
Runeterra champions now.
just this wonderfully laid out segue. Just really quick, Kai'Sa slow spell hurts a bit. This Kai'Sa's still good. Anyways, Kayn's out.
Yeah. Kayn cool.
We've got Attach 2.0.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really like equipment in card games, so I'm actually like really excited.
You mean attachment?
There's
this.
one thing that they said, which I don't know the exact rules, but it's like if the attachment pops off, you can't play it again the same
Correct.
turn.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool way of balancing it that Attach never had. Because when you killed a unit, they slap Papercraft or they slap Rainbow Fish on something else, and they still kill you.
So I believe it was you can't if you've played it that turn and it dies that turn, you can't play it. But if you played it like
But
turns
if it
ago,
dies a later turn.
yeah, you can still replay it right away.
Yeah.
You can play equipment once a
Yeah,
turn.
basically
is
that. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you can
way
play
it works.
a specific equipment once.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen
Oh,
what,
yeah,
4
yeah.
of them or something.
we have seen
There was-
the
so
2 sides.
There's the plunder
Some of them
one.
I've seen a
There's
lot
3
of them.
sides.
There's 3 sides.
Yeah.
There's 3
There's
sides.
the one from the Shurima landmark.
Yep.
Did
There's
they show the card
Bilgewater
for that?
Yep.
one.
The Noxus
They
one.
didn't show us what the landmark
Wait.
is. There's the Bilgewater
Yeah.
one. There's the Targon one, the Draconic
Mhm.
bands.
And then
There's the 2 Noxic ones. There's Bone Splitter 2, the Darkened Ballista, and there's
that
the
card's
I don't
sick.
remember the name of it, but the
there was
plus
like
2 plus
Great
0
Hammer or
overall
something
one.
like generic.
The
Yeah.
hammer.
Yeah.
But that one was like
Wait, did they not?
the hammer one is 2 mana
Both of
plus
the
2
Noxus
attack.
ones.
with overwhelm.
It's
Wait,
horrible.
there's 2
That's
Noxus.
That's going in
like-
Ash LeBlanc. That's going in Ash
That
LeBlanc.
one
You
seems
just like
nuts.
There's the Overwhelm one. What's the other Noxus one?
The Darkened
It's
Ballista.
Ballista.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Darkened
yeah, yeah.
Ballista.
If you wanna
that's
count
right.
that.
So
Also,
Yeah.
It's just
That's-
bad.
yeah.
It's
The
one mana.
design on the darkened weapons are just so cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
a lot.
I think the Darkened Ballista is like so good.
yeah, that
it's
card's
just,
busted.
Yeah.
Did we mention
like-
the Targon card?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
The
mentioned it.
yeah. We
Sorry,
mentioned
I'm
it,
spacey.
I know
Yeah.
there's so many here.
But like 1 mana plus 2 plus 0 is so
Mhm.
good. Like this is an effect that is like worth this much mana. It's actually like essentially a more expensive card in Magic the Gathering, and it's good in that game. And like mana in Magic is more valuable than mana in this game because of how the mana systems work. And then on top of that, this has like a way to like dump and get value out of your mana later in the game. In like the fact, I'm not gonna try and say the name, but it has like the 8 mana card you can play where it just like is a big overwhelm unit. It's good at carrying other equipment, and it just fights things and removes the board. Like this card is so good.
Naga
Neka of Zareta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't
And
think
like the cost is it deals 1 to you when you equip it.
oh no,
Oh no!
My
That's
Nexus
kinda cool,
doesn't
'cause,
have
like,
tough.
We haven't seen that really.
Yeah, so
That's
Yeah.
true.
We haven't
just
seen-
for I guess for those who might not know,
I really
equipment
like
cards
this card. I
are
love this
literally
card.
just like attached units.
But they use
But
spell
they,
mana.
yeah,
you can play them
use
with spell
mana
mana.
for them,
which is
Ooh.
huge.
and they can't
That's
overlap
scary.
with attach.
Yeah. You can only carry 1 equipment or attachment per unit.
I'm excited for the Shurima stuff because they printed like we're getting a 4/4 buff from a landmark, which is going to my Talia Ziggs deck somewhere, and then we're getting the 3 mana revive if you've equipped. Which is just like I'm gonna have multiple Talias coming.
I hate that
Can we
card.
talk about the new 1-drop? How not okay
I
that
know.
card is? Like a 1 mana 2/1 in Shurima that predicts, and then if you hit like an equipment or a cultist, it's like gets +1/+1. Like
I need
what?
to
Like,
know.
Echo Zilean next patch.
Well, Ziggs Talia can I run 6 1-drops? You run the three landmark guy and you run
Dude,
this,
and Boom
you
Boom
don't lose
Boom's
to aggro.
nerfed. Yeah, like this
Yeah.
deck doesn't lose to aggro anymore.
I don't understand why they think they can keep printing these broken ass cards in Shurima.
cards.
Like, can we
Holy
just
Shurima.
like can
Shurima's-
Shurima skip an expansion? The thing's been tier 1 since release. Like there has not been a season where Shurima has not had an incredibly good deck. Like
Yeah.
it has been like probably competing for top 3 every season. I can't think of a time it wasn't.
Hey, I'm gonna bring triple Shurima and I'm gonna clean house.
Yeah, look at this.
Run 9 of the
Shurima's so
landmark.
good, he just brings 3 of them and still wins.
Shurima was not terrible on
Shurima
release.
was not terrible on release.
Shurima was a
No,
support
Shurima
region on
was
release.
really bad.
It was
on
a support
release.
region, is what it was.
Wasn't
It
it
was
bad,
not its
like,
own
the
region,
first
but it
bit?
was an excellent support
It was
region.
a good second region, was what it was.
But yeah, that revive card, I don't even know what it's called, is absolutely
That card is
bonkers.
nuts. I don't even know what they were
Head-
thinking.
I
with that.
can't
Heedless
believe
Resurrection,
Yeah,
that.
so it costs 5 slow,
Because
and then once you've equipped an ally this game, it costs 2 less.
Sansa,
it's
remember when
better-
I accidentally said like you can run 9 Tyson now? This is
Yeah.
the card.
Like,
well, and you can get duplicates of a champion, which is massive.
Well, I'm just wondering
I didn't
how.
even consider
oh,
that.
that's the scare. That's the really scary part.
no.
Yeah,
That is
like multiple. Yeah.
Holy.
Like you can get like I play my Talia, and then for 3 mana I play another Talia,
what is that? That's crazy.
and I've played Herald of Magus, so they're both just. Or like, but like we have the landmark in Shadow Isles, which is the,
Mhm.
but it's revive the strongest unit, not champion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a landmark, takes 2 turns to kick down, and like the other card is Rekindler.
Yeah.
Like
And
these effects are like very expensive.
Mist Call is the closest,
Call.
but it's completely random. You have to
Yep.
like hardcore play your board around Mist's Call, or else you're just like taking 50-50s or like 25% chances. There is no way that Shurima card is not busted.
Well, an Hourglass is 3 mana, and we can just play this now instead.
Yep.
Like you can just let the unit die and then play your spell, and you could still do the attack. Like you play a Kaisa, they
I
shoot with
mean,
Vengeance, you can just revive it.
Realistically, you're running both.
Maybe,
Probably,
yeah.
you're probably running like 3 of the revive and 2 Hourglass.
But yeah, I don't know. Viego's getting even better, I guess. Like it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, 3 mana revive a champion is just
that card's gonna get nerfed.
just
That
wild.
card doesn't make it to season. That card will not make it to season.
It
Well,
should
okay,
be
one
no
thing
way.
It should be
we have
5
yet
mana.
to see. We have yet to see the equipment for Shurima.
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
we saw that
There's the landmark
weapon.
one,
That's
but we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly how many equipment like
Which one?
each region is getting. It's a
Yeah.
3 mana +4/+4, but it comes from a countdown landmark, which we don't know yet.
But yeah, you
Oh,
just
okay.
like, but also like, if you're playing that card and you're playing it for 5 mana, that doesn't even feel that bad.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing 5 mana to make another Viego, that's okay.
Mhm.
Like, like
Okay.
that on its own is good.
It's the same cost as
Yeah.
Viego.
Being able to make it 3 mana is just crazy.
Talia
Right.
2.
Yeah. But yeah, I am suspect on their love of Shurima.
What do you think of Kayn?
Kayn,
It
okay.
looks cool.
Yeah, I have so
I
I
love
guess
the
we should
design.
we should like read it out. So Kayn, we haven't seen all of his cards. But he has a similar origin like Bard and stuff where he can put all cultist cards in his deck. So he will so he will have a bunch of like units and stuff, and I think some spells are also cultists.
like the
But
5
it
mana
doesn't
spell.
count for
Oh.
Yeah, the 5 mana
Yeah.
spell that goes down to 3 is a cultist
Mhm.
spell. And then once you've summoned 3 cultist units or more, you get to draw Kayn, which is so good. Being able to
And
tutor
that's
Kayn out of your deck is crazy.
even if you already have one in play or in hand.
Yeah. And then Kayn himself has auto equip, which is really cool, as just like a mechanic. So he will equip his like own Darkened Scythe when he attacks or when he comes into play. And the Darkened Scythe has its own text where every time he attacks, you grant that equipment +1/+0. He has a very he's actually a really cool design. He also has not quick attack. He has challenger. He has a different keyword, which makes me really happy.
Wait, does
Well-
all of them have do all of them have Challenger, or is it
Yeah,
just
They all have
yeah,
challenger.
Base Kayn has Challenger, and then Rost has Overwhelm, and Shadow Assassin has
Elusive,
Elusive.
yeah.
They also get different scythes, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So there's
Frost
basically
is objectively better.
Oh yeah, Ross is
I
so for anyone who's
Don't think
confused
that's
about
true.
why this is, the league character
Mhm.
is like when you're playing the game, if you fight a bunch of melee champions, you can evolve into this like really tanky guy who can heal a bunch. And if you fight a bunch of range champions, you become an assassin. So
Mhm.
for this, once you level up, you choose which form you can do. So once you've struck twice, you choose which form, and then the tanky one gets +1/+1 every time you attack. If you kill something, you fully heal, and you have Overwhelm, which sounds busted, and is clearly the stronger of the two.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Well, it depends what you're trying to do.
The overwhelm heals you is like the big one, but I
Yeah.
did not realize, do the level 2 sides keep the bonus from level 1?
I would assume so.
Not sure.
Probably,
Shouldn't
right?
it bounce it off, or does it upgrade the scythe?
I don't know.
Also, if you kill Kayn, they get the weapon to their hand. They can put it on another unit,
Yep.
correct?
Yeah.
Which is like really
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Kayn is.
And it's a 0-man
Does
weapon,
that make him?
right?
I guess Zilean's the
Uh,
first
two- it
champion
says
to give
2
you a
mana.
lasting.
It's a 2-mana
thing.
weapon.
Oh, okay.
It just auto equips, so like it comes in for free on Kayn.
Mhm.
So it looks like the sides do transform and keep the +1 attack.
Interesting.
Also, just a quick note: Kayn's auto equip. So when you if you kill a Kayn, get the scythe back in your hand, and you equip the scythe on a different unit, Kayn auto equip the keyword reads equip this unit with whatever equipment, even if it has to create a new one. So I'm pretty sure you will get a second Darkened Scythe, which
Interesting.
probably won't come up a
Hmm.
lot, but is pretty cool
I
to play
wonder
around.
if you create I wonder if it's equipped to another unit, if it takes it off that unit, or if you make another one.
If Kayn
Infinite
steals it, that
sights?
feels worse. But
That'd be hilarious.
I would
funny.
imagine Kayn steals it, but like I wonder how it works if you discard it.
Oh, Kane's Grave says Kayn will
I'm
steal it
actually really
if you
interested
summon
to see
him.
how this works.
It's confirmed on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Alright,
Kane's a
we've got
thief
Twitch
now.
chat to back us
Yeah,
up.
thanks
here.
Twitch chat.
Twitch chat.
Yeah, so Kayn just steals it instead of doing cool things and making his own scythe.
So I think
Fine.
another interesting card that was revealed was the Demacia spell.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's
didn't see
a
that
It's
one
okay.
mana burst. You pick a follower or equipment from the top 4 cards of your deck, and you draw it, and then place the others
It's
into your
just
deck.
filtering, right?
It's,
1 mana draw one
Some people
basically.
shit talking.
Yeah.
It's just
It's-
it's
it's-
filtering. It's
Yeah.
just
That's-
replace this.
Mhm.
with
That's pretty good for Demacia.
Yeah, for a region with almost
Yeah.
like no
I'd play it.
draw,
that's
right?
it.
I
Well,
think that's
yeah,
good. in
Wait, it's not
Demacia.
Yeah,
draw.
Think of
It's
it
not
like
draw.
Demacia needs finishers.
no. Think of it like this, Vince. Or you're playing a 37 card deck now.
Upstart Goblin, you know.
Right.
At the cost of 3 mana.
And like that's probably worth it.
And you
Maybe.
get to pick, kinda.
There's
Maybe.
gonna be
So-
like just think about all the Demacia decks where you build it and you're like, I don't want to put any of these cards in, and then you're like, I guess I just
Right.
play 3 of this because it's
Well, and Demacia doesn't use spell mana well
Exactly.
at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it just
Yeah,
uses
it's just
Sword
combat
Sight and like
tricks.
rally,
For the most part. Yeah.
right?
See,
So, like,
I'm
one
thinking
mana is,
about
like,
playing
nothing.
Stalking Shadows and missing when I look at this card.
Yeah. How
I
can
mean-
you?
I mean,
Well,
I'm sure you
it's-
can
it's-
skip, right? If
It's unit
yeah,
or
unit equipment, but
Is that
I mean,
correct?
It
units
says draw it.
in Demacia decks. Like, how many spell? Are you playing a lot more spells over units in Demacia?
It says follower, not
Oh,
unit.
sorry, follower. You're right.
Oh,
If it-
which
yeah.
is-
if it
does
could hit
change,
champs,
that
that'd
does
be
change
crazy.
things. Yeah, that changes
I
things.
still
If it
think
hits
it's decent.
champions, I think
Yeah.
you're never missing a Demacia. If it says followers, you're like, it's gonna happen every now and then.
Also, there were
I don't think it's a
Yeah.
great card, but it's
there
fine.
were a couple more cards revealed today that I forgot about.
I think Demacia just like as a region is a little weak because like its entire identity is like the rally region
Oh, yeah.
and like
It just takes up so much of the power budget.
right. And so what happens is you play a strong Shurima deck and then you use rally to finish. We
Mhm.
used a strong Bard deck and then we used rally to finish. Like these aren't strong Demacia decks. They're just strong decks with a rally finish. And like I think rally is like important for it to be in the game as like a way for you to transfer board to winning, but it has tied up a lot of Demacia's like power curve, right? Like the Sculptor's pretty good, but like there's just not a good way to like Demacia's like units aren't big enough to actually win board against a lot of the other stuff in the game right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the other cards that were revealed that weren't shown in the video is the landmark for the Shurima equipment is a 1 mana countdown 2 landmark, and there's a new
Yes.
twin disciplines card for Ionia and a new strike card
Yeah.
for Noxus.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's called Momentous Choice.
Mhm.
It's
Here,
it's
I'll-
1 mana burst. Yeah, you can post it in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 1 mana burst. It's a cultist, so you can put it in any Kayn deck. And it just says give an ally either +1/+0 or +0/+1 this round. But if you've equipped an ally this game, play a copy of me on the same target.
Mhm.
So it's +2/+0 or +0/+2 in whatever direction you pick for 1 mana instead of 2. With a like basically negligible
Also,
like caveat.
Mhm.
notably, it's create a copy of me,
Yep.
right? Which is very relevant for spells matter champs as opposed to just like doubling the effect the card
Yeah.
has. Because like
Mhm.
this card on its own is proccing Eye of the Dragon if you've activated it.
Karma
Did you
gives
guys see-
+4.
We have a new rank 1.
What?
What am I? Just hit rank 1.
God damn
Kaisa.
it! What am I?
Damn.
Action on Kaisa.
I mean, congratulations.
So that deck is not dead, in case anyone was curious.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just
not.
a little bit slower,
Maybe this
Yeah.
is
and it's more skill intensive, I think, too, which is good for the game.
maybe this is a good
Oh.
segue to come back around and finish talking about the nerfs.
Actually, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
jump it right back to Kaisa.
So
Card is definitely weaker.
Yeah, still okay.
I think
Mhm.
Kaisa is weaker. I think the evolve package is bonkers good. Absolutely ridiculous.
A-Bomb is a very good finisher,
Yeah.
and we just couldn't play it because Kaisa was so strong.
It's just too slow.
mhm.
Right. But now that Kaisa's toned down, we can actually play our design finisher, and
Yeah.
it's good.
And the games go a bit longer now. Like game length
Yeah,
is
you're
a
not
bit.
winning on 5, which is great.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
the nerfs they gave to Kaisa are good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you can answer A-Bomb if you like are playing a Shadow House deck. Like you by turn 8, you will have a ping and a removal spell. Like that's not like a big ask for a
Mhm.
Shadow House deck.
Yeah.
It's just asking that on like turn 5 was,
Too much.
and then again on turn 6
Yeah.
was a little much.
Also being able to deny, but yeah, being able to deny Kaisa is like not needing to kill their keyword units on site, and being able to do it in response is really big.
Yeah, you don't get forked as much, or like put in
Yeah.
positions where it's like, well, like I guess I have to pick what card I'm playing around.
Yeah, like
you
the
more
number
get
of
to weigh and say,
times.
like, I can be reactive.
But yeah, I think Ukshan Kaisa is probably the best.
Yeah.
version
Alawi
of the
Kaisa.
deck.
I mean, Alawi's dead. We can't even play Alawi Lux anymore. Alawi Lux is going to be gone too.
Thrall's got hit, but I think Thrall's is still pretty solid.
I think Thrall's
Is
is still
Alawi Lux
there.
I think
Ravine?
Thralls.
Yeah.
I think Thralls is the strongest of like the old top decks, because you had like
I think-
Thralls, Alawi, Kaisa, and then like Ravenbloom decks,
Mhm.
and Thralls
Yeah,
definitely
like
got like a slap on the
Helios.
wrist compared to all of those.
Yeah. I would
Ravenbloom
agree
got
with that.
hurt.
I think the
Struggle.
Ravine change is a nerf to like almost every deck that played Ravine. Almost every deck wanted that damage, but Thralls definitely wanted it the most. And the Thralls to 9 is definitely a nerf, but what's actually quite funny is a lot of players will probably win some more games because of the Thralls nerf, because there's so many games you're supposed to play Thrall on 2, and now Thrall on 1 is old Thrall on 2, which is really funny actually to think about. But yeah, Thrall's definitely got a slap on the wrist. And then PZ is down bad, man. This baboon nerf, like, I'm in shambles. 2-1 baboon?
Dude.
Come on.
It's okay.
Good.
It's time to move
I'm
on.
like so
you know.
sick of Baboon.
Yeah. I think it's still fine. The card like now does what it's supposed to do, right? It generates another card.
Yeah, Baboon's still a fine card.
Mm.
A lot of, like, some decks really got hurt by this, though. Like, the decks that were more dependent on baboon, like the Vandal City PZ decks that really, like,
Yeah.
leaned on it.
Big ol' dust.
Yeah, like Biggle Dust are really hurt, but something like Scion is like pretty much fine. I was playing that earlier; it's still really good. And then something like Aphelios is going to feel it, but like the deck is still going to be good. I think it's just things.
Well,
like
Winding Light.
then.
I feel it's gonna feel something else a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aphelios also got Winding Light, but I think the deck will still probably be pretty solid overall.
Really?
Like,
Is
So-
that going to be the home
Yeah,
for
it's
Aphelios?
gonna grind. It's just gonna grind more.
Aphelios has
Well,
options outside of that.
yeah, so like here's the thing, and like the deck probably isn't going to be tier 1 unless like the meta goes into like a very specific place. But so 2 seasons ago, the seasonal prodigy one, me and like a bunch of the people I prepped with, we were all really high and we all did extremely well with Aphelios PNZ that season. And you have to like keep in mind, we did have 3-1 baboon, but we were playing with 4 HP Star Shaping, which is worse than 5 HP Star Shaping and worse than Celestial Trifecta. We weren't really able to play Pharaohs because like the PNZ Targon pool was bad back then because we didn't have things like Trifecta and like it was just way more clunky. And we didn't have Winding Light. And like I think, granted, it was partially due to the positioning of Pantheon and Shurima. I think that was one of the best decks in the game back then. And like the deck can't be that much weaker than it was back then. So, like, I really don't think the deck is that bad. It's probably going to have to look a little bit different, but, like, Aphelios is such a fucked up card. And, like, I think,
Yep.
like,
True.
I said this so much when this deck was
That's
on the
fact.
top, but, like, people are bad at the deck, and they play it like a Winding Light deck, and they don't understand it, and people, like, don't understand how good Aphelios is and how much tempo Aphelios provides, and, like, I think that's really going to show now. And I think the very good Aphelios players who really understand Aphelios are still going to have a really high win rate. And the people who played discard aggro too are going to have awful win rates if they try and play the deck.
Is there ever like a new place for Aphelios? Because that's what I've been trying to figure out.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's the what am I pile?
going back to Aphelio,
Would-
or like the
which
Fae version
one?
as
The
well.
Gwen?
Gwen Aphelios might be something, but I don't think you're supposed to build it as like a grindy control deck. I don't know. I think Invoke is like way
You can
too
go
slow.
back to the Fae version.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
something I want to mess around with.
It could
I
be
don't-
like Vandal something.
I don't think it'll be better than PNZ though. I still think Winding
Paper-
Light's a pretty busted card. Like,
Papercraft hits them too there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really
You
put up
just
Thank
go
God.
heavier into like the Rainbow Fish.
Yeah, or just double draw
Yeah.
lantern. Duh.
Duh.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh,
The other
Ravenbloom got hit
PNZ
as
nerf.
well.
Yeah, Ravenbloom.
Yeah,
Ravenbloom, I don't
don't-
think it was like too big, but it's still like something you'll feel.
Ravenbloom nerf is
think
really
it's-
huge. Not
I
being
think it matters.
able to, like, that 2 countdown basically means even if you have Ravenbloom on 1, the odds of you being able to play Tibalt before turn 8 and set up for a turn 8 Rex is, like, you have to play so many spells to count that down.
Yep.
And it's hard.
Or Annie.
Granted,
The
granted, the game did slow
Hey,
down.
Yeah.
I still
but-
think Annie's better than
Well,
Cat.
so it's a bit more than just the game slowing down, though, because I think the problem is you're like on the verge of running out of resources a lot of the time when you're flipping Tibalt. And
Mhm.
Tibalt helps you stabilize because you can start playing your cards way more efficiently than you were able to now. And the fact that you have to wait a bit longer and you're still working on like 1 damage pings might not, like, I don't think that's quite compensated by the fact that the game's slowing down.
Yeah.
I do think my version of the deck is now the best. I mean, I thought it was the best before, but I
But,
think
like,
running,
even
doesn't
with card
sound
draw,
like it.
you're like
But
still
yeah,
running out.
but I think running the 5 draw 2 and Annie helps that like problem, but I still don't think it's.
It does,
enough.
but you're on fumes by the time you're playing Tibalt.
Yeah, it still hurts. You feel it.
Mhm.
How about a nerf to our favorite deck, Infinite?
Yeah, that's so funny.
Loser's still grinding it and still.
He's on
winning
Zilean
games.
now.
He's
Good
not
for him.
winning it.
Good
Losers
for
had a
him.
negative win rate all
He
season.
told me
on
it
Does
it.
was
really?
feeling good, bro.
He's
All that
good.
matters is the fun
Losers
you
played,
have,
like,
okay?
I mean, the meta's slowing down, which is why he's on it now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
That's
saying.
not.
He's
He would have been on it anyway.
He would
It's not
have.
because the
That's
meta's
true.
slowing
That's
down.
true. That's true.
looking at Loser's page right now. He has over 300 games of Infinite over 2 decks, and both decks are 46% win rate.
You wouldn't
It's-
get it.
yeah, you wouldn't get it.
Based.
I'm glad that's the case.
Oh.
Loser.
That deck is so toxic.
This
fucking
man is having
loser.
the time of his life playing one of the worst decks in the game. It's not good.
I honestly don't even think that deck is toxic. I think that players playing it are toxic when they extend their
Yeah, that-
actions for unnecessary
yeah, we-
reasons.
We've
Aw.
talked about Infinite before.
Yeah.
It's okay, just don't be a dick.
So, Risu.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, that card's fun. Is it good? Probably not.
I
It's
don't know.
Chalars
No,
was
it's-
the best Risu deck.
Ari Ken and Risu.
Vandal City Timelines.
That's
yeah,
Close
Kennen got
second.
buffed. Kennen getting buffed means almost nothing. Love to see it.
it's
Yeah,
actually
why-
significant.
Is it?
yeah,
It is.
It's
Is
3
it?
damage,
I mean-
3 to
For
2 is,
what deck?
is big,
Yeah, 3 to
right?
2
But,
is
Yeah,
big.
yeah, for
The
sure.
question is,
but how
getting
often
it,
are
right?
you actually killing things? Like, you're perfectly content stunning stuff most of the time anyways, right?
No, you need to clear the board.
Eventually,
Yeah,
but you were
it-
often...
No,
I'd love
3
it.
Damage,
I'd love it if Ari Kennen was good again because I love that deck. But
3
I want
damage
Israel
is
Ken
pretty
to be
big,
back.
but like that
whatever, man.
isn't-
Go play your overtuned Shurima.
Yeah. I hate Ionia, dude. Me and Majin are like the polar opposites of players. It's like whatever I want to play is the thing he hates most.
I love Ionia.
Ionia is icky.
Yeah, I'm with Monty.
Yeah,
I
why
think-
play Ionia when you can just play the cooler Ionia?
Yeah.
Shurima.
Exactly.
Honestly, it's
Exact.
so
I have
sad.
I have Deny too. I think
Hey,
I'm
why
gonna
is it
Shurima
the
recall
cooler?
next.
God,
Yeah,
no,
dude, why is it the cooler Demacia and the cooler Ionia?
That's the
bro.
question.
I don't.
It's just like the 2 most fucked up regions in the game, and
Hey.
it's just like better than both of them.
It doesn't have rally
It doesn't.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
the one
because
thing
it's
it's missing.
It does have rally.
it's like
It doesn't
basically
have
you
a
just
rally.
mono
Glorious
region.
Call
It-
into rally, and you win.
You're right, we did get
True.
rally. We did get
You're
rally.
13 mana around.
It doesn't.
Wait. You can't hit glory. You can't hit off Glory's call.
It doesn't
You
have
can't-
rally
It's
yet.
nine.
Is
It's,
what you
Wait,
it's
mean.
9 cost
oh,
or
you're
lower.
right.
No, no,
Glory's
no.
called
The
a landmark?
rally's the landmark. Yeah.
Wait, what's the landmark called?
Oh, you're hitting that. Okay, I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about the 10
Oh
mana
my
spell.
god!
Oh.
Imagine you
But
get
connecting
that.
spell.
That one, I want that so bad, dude. Let that be in the pool.
So stupid.
Bye.
I wish Glory's Call was actually playable.
Yeah.
It is. Put it in your deck.
Look, Prodigy. Some cost is playable. Glory's Call.
Yeah,
is playable.
honestly, man, if you
Some
want to just
cost
take
is
the
the best
Kaisa
card in the
list,
game.
Yeah.
if you want to take the Kaisa auction list, throw Glory's Call in it, you'll still win most of your
Mhm.
games.
Oh yeah. Put in your Zirelia deck too.
But
You
yeah,
need some gas late game.
I do think the Kaisa win rate will drop a bit because like it is new patch. It is people experimenting a lot, and I'm really excited to see what crops up.
It'll drop a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how,
Runeterra is a lot of fun right now.
at least compared to last season.
True.
Yeah, last season was.
Bad things happened.
Yeah, last season that was a rough one.
Last season was fine.
Mhm.
Until season.
Last season was
fine.
cool.
We don't talk about.
Oh, sorry, last
seasonals.
patch. I meant last patch.
Last patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, last patch was.
I didn't like last season either.
Last patch was so bad there aren't even 700 Masters players. Like, people just aren't playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prodigy.
Like, that's
Until
terrifying.
4LW gave me Pirates 2 days ago. That's the most I've climbed and like the easiest I've climbed.
You know what the craziest thing is? At the end of my climb, I was beating pirates consistently with Kaisa.
Yeah.
That's because
100%.
there's a
I was
lot of
telling
really
you that
bad
matchup
Pirates
wasn't that
players.
bad.
No. The matchup actually, by the end, it's actually not that bad.
It's slow, and the deck's slow because you're running all the draw and like.
I think I lost that matchup
It's
once.
also because if
I
you
mean-
draw Broadwing plus Bright Steel, or even worse, Petricite Protege, you win the game every time.
Pretty much. Yeah.
With those two cards.
Yeah.
I love
As long as you
Demacia.
have a decent opening curve and they can't get chip in, they don't kill you before you kill them.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
actually like gross.
All right.
I'm gonna chalk that up to bad Pirates players.
I'll chalk your wins up to bad
Oh,
guys
probably.
players. How about that?
Yeah.
True. True. I'm in Diamond.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
fact.
How long have we been ranting for?
It's
probably
been-
long
just
enough.
over an hour.
Yeah, just over an hour. It
We've
might be
crossed an
time to
hour.
wrap it up.
Should I call it here?
Yeah, it might be just about time. I guess like the last two super relevant nerfs we didn't. Well, I guess there's like three more really relevant nerfs I would say we didn't touch on, and I guess we'll just mention them real quick. It's Papercraft Dragon, Defiant Dance, and Hourglass. I think Papercraft died. I don't know if anyone else
Yeah.
feels
Yeah.
differently.
And I think-
Papercraft will show up in like Gleaming Lantern lists, but that's
Mhm.
it.
Gleaming
Yeah, you're not going to have the
Maybe.
OTK version
That card
anymore.
died too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
I
yeah.
think sometimes it'll pop up off of like face sprouts that'll maybe
Yeah.
randomly pop up
Sure.
off of conch, but that's it. And then I think Hourglass and Defiant Dance. These are probably nerfs that maybe not a long time coming, but are probably deserved. Like those
You're
decks are
still
pretty
gonna run them.
powerful,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
yeah, they're still good
Mhm.
cards. You're still gonna run them. They're harder to cast and fit in the curve on these like really aggressive, really like mana intensive decks, right?
I mean, a handful of these, like Defiant Dance and Raven Bloom, they're like preemptive nerfs. It's like you're taking out Bartolawi and Kaisa. You don't want a power vacuum for the
Yep.
third and
Yeah.
fourth place to then surge in and take
Mhm.
over the meta. So like these are good.
Yeah. That was a good patch.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy with it.
Yeah.
Spicy one for sure.
And now to figure it out in 10 days for seasonals.
Honestly, yeah.
All right, so does anyone have anything else to add, or we're gonna wrap it up here?
I should actually shout out the Mastering Runeterra has a tournament
Oh,
this Saturday,
Yeah.
hosted by myself and Ikato, I believe, is
Nice.
co-casting.
Nice.
So if you want to get some prep in for seasonals, sign up for that. I'm pretty sure it's free entry.
I
I
get to
think
play
so.
one for
Yes.
once.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's a few
Yeah.
tournaments
Yeah,
this week.
free entry, $500 Mastering Runeterra Cup.
Yeah, by GG Tour, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, everyone make sure if you're free Saturday, you need seasonal practice, go out to that, sign up, play, get casted by San and Ikato. Outside of that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you next week for the seasonals prep episode. And
Yes.
Yeah.
until then, Car Gamer and the squad. See you guys later.
Bye.